have a favorite credit card? Similar to Oreos, where if you like them, you've probably at least tried the double stuff variety. Let's apply that same analogy to credit cards. Do you have a favorite credit card? Why not double it up? I have another video on my channel from a few years back where I talk about which cards I have multiples of. This video is not going to just be which cards I currently hold multiples of in 2026, but it's also the why and the how, so you can determine if this credit card strategy makes sense for you to apply to your life. Double it up, just like Oreos. But first, I'm Key, a credit card points and miles enthusiast and travel lover. On my channel, I discuss the mistakes I've made, my future travel goals, and overall credit journey since 2016. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have 3 American Express Business Platinum credit cards as of 2026. Now, these took multiple years to acquire, and typically I'm holding 4 of them because I'll get another one in the Q4 timeframe every single year. And then I maximize the perks, benefits, and I drop it around that, drop one of them around the January, February timeframe. So I typically hold 3, but there are a few months at the Q4 time period that I do hold 4 of these. Now, I really like these cards for the fine hotels and resorts credit and just the other credits and benefits and perks that I do receive with these. So with these 3 business platinums, I receive $600 in airline incidental credits. I have another video and members only video kind of talking through how I use those airline incidental credits. This is a plug for you to join the membership if you haven't already. $1,800 in the fine hotels and resorts. $1,800. I love it. I love it. Which you're getting $1,800 to use for FHR stays, right? But ultimately, you're getting more than that because those FHR stays would come with, daily breakfast. They comes with $100 to use at a spa or on restaurants. So it really compounds itself. So I'll just say $1,800 plus on that one. $900 in Dell credits, and I don't value this at $900, especially since Dell got rid of their TVs and some of the other really cool things that they used to sell on their website. So, this one's kind of fizzling out, and perhaps I switch into getting personal platinums instead of the business platinum. But, that's another story for another day. Clear, TSA, or global entry, $600 in Hilton credits as well. And then last but not least, the 35% points rebate. This is why one of the main reasons I picked to choose the business platinum over the personal platinum. I love it because I'm able to select now, because I have 3 different American Express Business Platinum cards. So I'm able to select 3 different airlines to make sure the airlines I fly, when there's flight deals or if there's flight deals, I'm able to use my American Express points, get that 35% points rebate, and that flight counts as if I paid in cash. So I'm getting things like airline miles, my benefits recognized, so on and so forth. So the airlines I've selected for 2026 are Delta, American, and JetBlue. And again, join the membership if you need to understand how you can maximize this. And none of the things that I talk about are the United Travel. I have 2 Discover It credit cards. And I just want to say that this strategy that we're talking about here today doesn't need to just be with ultra premium or premium credit cards that come with hefty annual fees. These Discover It credit cards are proof of that. These are each $0 annual fee credit cards, but they pack a heavy punch, honestly. So with this, I personally like to have 2 Discover It's, and the maximum you can have is 2 Discover It credit cards. I have one that is an OG. I'm never canceling it. It's one of the original cards in my setup. But the second one, I'll actually go ahead and cancel every 13 or so months and reapply. So reason for that is, number 1, the rules with Discover, you can get a new credit card with them every 6 months, but you can only get a maximum of 2 credit cards. I'm kind of going to keep both of these for a future hedging play, because I'm hoping with that they've been bought out by Capital One, that maybe I'll be able to get things like a Saver or some of the other cards that Capital One has once they, ingest Discover and, start merging that in. With these Discover It credit cards, I love having one on a net new, so one on a first year basis because you get 0% APR and you get double cash back. So, and the cash back also counts with things like the refer a friend. So if someone refers you, you're doubling that referral offer as well, as all of the other cashback that you're earning for the year. Discover, I find, has a lot of beneficial categories. Their quarterly categories, 5% or really 10% cash back in the first year. And they're just more usable. I found recently the Chase ones and some of the City ones, some of those quarterly credits aren't as user friendly or easy to kind of obtain maximum value for. Discover has been steady for many years at this point, and that's the reason why I have 2 Discover It credit cards. I have 4 Marriott Bonvoy credit cards. Each of these come with hotel night certificates annually just for holding the cards. So every year, on a minimum, I get 3 85,000 Marriott hotel certificates, as well as 1 35,000 Marriott Bonvoy hotel certificate. Now, these are just from holding the card. Outside of that, there are additional perks like dining credits, airline incidental credits, and just added levels of insurance and travel insurance. And y'all know I live in New England. So when I travel in the winter months, I'll just say like November through April, March, I make sure any flights booked in that window, I'm utilizing things like a Chase Ritz-Carlton card because I'm not shy on getting my $500 worth of trip delay insurance. And I talk about this in another video, another reason why you should join the membership. Now, for the past few years, Marriott has been my primary hotel program that I choose to stay with. And I find that it doesn't have me jumping through hoops. There's typically a Marriott property anywhere that I've gone in the past few years. And y'all know, I think last year I took about 80 flights, and the year before that, around 90 flights. So I'm typically staying in places where there is a Marriott hotel without having to go out into the sticks or what have you. So with Marriott being my primary program, I'm also able to get things like choice benefits for hitting specific milestones. Every single year, just from holding this combination of cards, I receive, in January, 40 elite nights right off the rip. This means I now only have to stay 10 nights to hit that first threshold of choice benefits. And when I do hit that tranche of 50 nights, I typically select the suite upgrade certificates. I also travel for work in addition to my personal travel goals of traveling at least 1 time per month, utilizing credit card points and miles. So I have, and I will probably continue to hit that 75 night threshold, which really means I'm only staying about 35 nights because I have this combination of cards that I showcased before. So when I say that 75 nights, I then get an additional choice benefit. And at that point, I actually receive an additional 40,000 Bonvoy point hotel certificate for me to utilize. So all in all, these combination of cards receives me a lot of different benefits, everything from dining credits, hotel night certificates at Marriott that I can then top up 15,000 additional points, and just so much more, return protection, and just other levels of comfort when I have big purchases or when I'm traveling in winter months or just anytime I experience a travel delay. My end goal with the Marriott program is to achieve lifetime platinum status. And even though this is a longer term play, I have a path to hitting that here in the next 2 or 3 years. So stay tuned for lifetime status on Marriott. PenFed. I have 3 PenFed Pathfinder Rewards credit cards offered by Pentagon Federal Credit Union. These cards were acquired over a series of multiple years. I received my first 2 cards about 9 months after each other, and then I waited a number of years and recently picked up my 3rd Pentagon Federal Credit Union Pathfinder Rewards card. So all in all, I hold 3 of these, and why I like these is unlike things like American Express, where you have to make an airline selection, right? I've selected Delta, American, and JetBlue, like I mentioned previously. With PenFed, you get a $100 airline incidental credit on each card that doesn't require you making a selection of which airline you want to use it with. This is one of the primary reasons why I have this card, but also these are $0 annual fee cards as long as you have a Access America checking account, which is their checking account that they have over at Pentagon Federal Credit Union. These should be a pivotal part of your credit card collection, credit card lineup. At a $0 annual fee, there are additional perks that they offer, such as global entry and things like that. But guys, this is a $0 annual fee credit card. So this is one that is a staple in my portfolio. And again, I didn't rush to acquire these. This is a long-term play. You're going to need your credit and your credit score for forever. It's okay to have a multi-year strategy to acquire some of these cards, especially ones with no annual fee that I hate to say it pays you to have it, but ultimately, if you play the game correctly and you understand the benefits and perks that these cards allow you, this is $300 right here. $300. I have 2 of the IHG cards offered by Chase, and this is just due to their application rules. I have 1 personal and 1 business credit card. This duo gets me a lot of bang for my buck, especially when staying at IHG properties. Outside of that, I put probably 0 spend on each of these, unless there's some really cool Chase offers on my account, such as YouTube TV, 10 or 20% back at Best Buy or Lowe's. But otherwise, typically no daily spend goes on these credit cards outside of, maybe parking fees at IHG or what have you. So this duo gets me 20% back on purchasing IHG points. And there are periods of time where IHG points go on sale, and it may make sense, especially if you have a trip planned in the future, Southeast Asia, Europe. It may make sense to purchase these points, especially if it's peak season in some of these areas, and deploy those points accordingly. Every year, I get 2 40,000 hotel night certificates that I can use at IHG properties. A 10% points rebate that's uncapped and unlimited, right? I can use that 10% points rebate as often as I'd like throughout the year. And then again, unlimited 4th night free benefits on points bookings. And y'all, I only use these cards and I only stay at IHG properties when they are points bookings. So these cards and this combination of cards allows you to stack potential benefits and things like that. So imagine we purchased IHG points at 20% off, and especially when there's a bonus to purchase IHG points, as well as getting that 10% points rebate and getting 4th night free. Stack on stack on stack. Which Kimpton property should I visit this year? Y'all know these are my favorite type of properties. Now, in this video, I talked about the combinations of ecosystems and cards that I hold multiples of, but for tips for you to determine if this strategy is right. Are you currently loyal to a specific brand? Do you currently find that you have a preference staying at a specific hotel, an airline, or just really gravitate towards certain perks that you already right now today utilize on your day-to-day spending? I find a majority of folks will be better off with co-branded cards and having multiples of the co-brand cards. So these are things like Hilton, Delta, Marriott, IHG, Southwest. Those are all the types of cards that work really well for the having multiples of them in your collection. Now, I know that I have some others, such as the American Express Business Platinum. Let me know this. Which cards do you currently hold multiples of, or which will you now strive to getting multiples of based on what you heard here today? Hold up. Before you leave this video, I would like to personally invite you to the 2026 Credit Card Community Meetup in Charleston, South Carolina. This year, it is all been arranged by the one, the only Anthony Venture. And be sure to subscribe to his channel if you aren't right now. Ultimately, this is where all of us creators, all of us folks that are in the comments watching these, credit card, personal finance type videos that each of the creators like to put out, this is a chance to meet us. This is a chance to chat in person, share some inside tips, tricks, and ultimately just hang out. This year, we are going to be in Charleston, South Carolina at a Hyatt property called the Wild Dunes. Look at this video, y'all. This looks absolutely amazing. Now, we will be staying from Labor Day weekend in 2026. So I'll just walk through the process with you just so you can see the dates and everything like that. But ultimately, I'm personally staying September 4th through the 7th of 2026. The actual the actual credit card meetup will actually be held on September 5th. So don't wait until the last minute. Definitely go ahead and book this now. And if you can't make it, go ahead. You're going to get all of your Hyatt points back as long as you book and cancel well before this date. So let me just show you the property that we're staying at, excuse me. And ultimately, that it costs 20,000 Hyatt points per night, and you're saving almost $700 per night. So 80,000 Hyatt points. These can be transferred from Bilt. These can be transferred from Chase, Ultimate Rewards. And ultimately, what are you waiting for? I would love to meet you in person. And I'm sure all of the creators that you like to watch on YouTube and comment on their videos would love to do the same. Be there, and please be sure to say hi.